Nascar Sprint Cup Series driver Ricky Craven, who set the record in 1991 with 5 consecutive wins. If Ben Rhodes can win here today, he will have tied Ricky Craven for that record. Ben Rhodes is also entering today's race as the current series points leader, sitting 71 points ahead of second place Cameron Haley. Guys?
Been quite a year for Ben Rhodes, and let's go ahead and take a look at today's starting grid. He's going to start right up on the pole, someplace he's gotten to know quite well. Jesse Little, son of Chad Little, will be right alongside of him.
Starting third, Chad Finley, and fourth will be Sergio Pena.
And as you look at the rest of the top 10, we move on to the 11th and 12th positions. Benjamin and Newberry will be there.
Ryan Gifford running really strong back in 18th.
Daniel Suarez is in the field here today, as is McKenna Bell, starting 21st.
Cale Conley didn't get quite the qualifying run he wanted back in 30th.
And that'll round out our field today. 100 laps around the Magic Mile, the Granite State 100. Keeping an eye on the pace car, heading to pit lane. Ben Rhodes pacing the field. Green flag is in the air, and we're racing here at Loudon.
One thing these guys are worried about, like Ben Rhodes said, Ralph, this racetrack is totally different than that they practiced on.
Pretty clean coming off a 1 and 2. That can be treacherous at the start of the races here at Loudon. Side by side, a little deeper in the field. Rhodes already starting to get a pretty good jump on third place. First lap in the books.
Greg Alden got up in the third there. We got a couple side by side. Scott Heckert on the outside, Sergio Pena. You know, the outside is pretty much the way to go. If you can keep your momentum up, you get a good run off the corner. Sergio kind of got in front of him there, got the spot.
Battle for the lead starting to brew up a little bit here as we keep an eye on the 29 car of Chad Finley. Drafting a big part of racing here. It's a short track in some ways, Todd, at only a mile in length. But if you get off the corners well, like you were talking about early, you can make it work down these straightaways. As Finley dives to the bottom in the middle of 1 and 2, gets a little loose coming off of 2, and that's going to hurt him.
It looks like Ben's struggling a little bit. You know, like we talked about, this racetrack's totally different. His car was really fast in practice. Didn't quite start off the way he wanted, but we'll see when they wear some of the other rubber off, get their rubber on the racetrack, what happens.
Boy, I didn't think Finley was going to make that pass because the car got loose coming off of 2, but he did a great job down in 3 and 4.
Yeah, it looks like Ben's car was a little tight to start the race here.
Good battles throughout the field. And coming off of turn 2, Todd, as they get up close to that wall, can be really treacherous as we watch Hill and Tift fighting over 15th.
Yeah, you know, this racetrack is so tight on exit because you're trying to carry so much speed that it's really easy to push up in the wall, and that's one thing you don't want at Loudon is get that right side flat, knock that fender in, because it's going to push really bad after that.
Tift in that 52 coming out of Kenny Schrader's racing stables.
McKenna Bell putting some pressure on the 22 of Austin Hill. She's been running really well this year.
Down into 3 they go. You got to have good mid-corner speed here as well, Todd.
That's what it's all about at Loudon. You really, if you can't carry your speed through the center of the corner, if it's pushing or if it's loose and you can't get to the throttle, you're slow down the straightaway, which equates to a slow lap time. So you really got to roll the center of the corner. And when they redid the corners at the racetrack, flattened the bottom out, repaved the racetrack, it really brought the outside line in. So it really is important to keep your momentum up on the bottom, which is very difficult.
Watching Tiff starting to apply the pressure here in that 52 Federated back car.
This is a perfect example. Ryan Gifford in 2 cars, a little slow through the center of the corner, car a little too tight. Tift is able to run up on him and get a little run off the corner.
Back to the front of the field we go. Finley with Rhodes right on his tail.
Looks like Ben's car's coming to him. There you see Finley push up a little.
Oh, good battle here with the 42 of Beasley and the 81 of Burns.
Yeah, Beasley got a little loose, lost his momentum. let Burns keep it outside.
They're going to go side by side through 1 and 2 and giving each other a lot of room.
Now, that's one thing. Like I said earlier just a minute ago, they redid the racetrack, and that what they did is allow the race drivers to run side by side. The way they did their corners, the outside groove is there, and it's a lot better racing. It's good racing.
Well, you can see the driver's hands fighting for control through 3 and 4. It's a little bit easier, it seems, Todd, to slip up in 3 and 4 than it is down in 1 and 2. Guys seem to hold traction better at the 1 and 2 end of the racetrack.
Well, Ralph, the one thing people don't realize is the back straightaway at Loudon is approximately, I think it's like 10 feet higher than the front straightaway. So you actually come down off of turn 4 and you go up off of turn 2. And that makes a big difference in how the cars handle.
10 laps in the books. Don't forget, there will be a halfway break here today. Drivers will be able to change tires. So how aggressive would you run this first half of the race?
Well, right now you just want to feel it out and see what you got. Here goes Ben Rhodes. Got the position back, take the lead.
Spent a few laps behind Finley, kept an eye on him, watched what the 29 was doing, saw the door open, and up to the front he goes again.
I think, Ralph, this is a product of what I talked about, the racetrack coming to him.
Well, the break is coming to us. We're going to step away, but we'll be right back.
Wednesday, it's the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Mud Summer Classic. Get ready for the dirt to fly as the stars of the Truck Series tear it up on NASCAR's only dirt track. Truck Series Racing, live from Eldora, Wednesday on Fox Sports 1.
Welcome back to the early stages here at Loudon, New Hampshire, and we have our first caution. Problems here for Daniel Suarez. While we were away, he climbs out of the number 6 machine. Looks like his day is done.
Yeah, Ralph, Loudon's racetrack, it's pretty easy to get in trouble. You know, if you get in the corner a little too deep or somebody gets in the back, it's pretty much over.
Almost the first quarter of the race completed here. Ben Rhodes has been the story coming in. He led early, fell back to second, pretty much just watched Finley for a few laps and retook the lead. Let's see what he does on this restart. You said restarts would be key. Let's see how they handle this one. Green flag, and we're racing again.
There you have it, 3 wide. Yeah, that's Loudon. If somebody doesn't get rolling, it could be hectic.
Oh, look at that, too. Right in the middle of that 3 wide pack. Here comes a 97 charging up. That's Jesse Little.
Trying to get second from Chad Finley. Yeah, can't make it work. There you go. A little pushy at the bottom of the racetrack. Lost his momentum. Had to get back in line. Nick Drake in a 15 Napa car. Looks like he's underneath Brendan Newberry. Core 24 car.
We are halfway to the halfway break as Sergio Pena in that 4 car tucks to the inside of Little. Dives down into 3, and he's going to get the position. If they're not careful, the 15 of Nick Drake's going to come through as well.
Nick got a great run. Jesse a little tight on the outside, but that momentum on the outside allowed him to get back in front of him.
Drake in that bright blue and yellow Napa 15.
You can see that outside line is the preferred line.
Here comes Gaulding inside of Ben Rhodes.
Strong move. Can Ben make it outside in move on him? Can't pull it off. Greg Gaulding takes the lead with a great drive through the middle of the corner.
You tend to run deep down into 3, and it's going to push up into the middle. It's a question of how far up will it go, and can you control it before handing the lead position back over. More from New Hampshire after this.
We're having a by the moves of another man. And so
problems once again here in Loudon, New Hampshire has brought out the caution, our second of the day. And this time it involves Sergio Pena, who is running very well here in this section of the day, as the 4 has got some heavy damage to it, Todd.
Yeah, looks the right front's down. It's kind of early to have a tire problem, but it looks like maybe that's what happened to him.
took out that tire and went up into the wall in turn 3, and Pena finds his way headed to the garage now. Another restart. Let's see how the leaders handle this one. Oh, boy. There was contact at the front, Todd, and it looks like the 41 might have a tire rubbing.
Yeah, it looks like Greg Galding might have pushed up into him a little bit in that left rear quarter panel. Pushed it into the tire. Have to keep an eye on it. It's got some smoke. That's off the left front tire, Ralph. He must have got into the side of Gray.
So Ben Rhodes, who came in here looking to make some history by tying Ricky Craven with 5 consecutive wins in the K&N Pro East Championship, has looked so good here early on, and now he's got a tire rub and a damaged race car. How's he going to fight through this?
Well, it's like I said, Ralph, you got to keep the fenders on these things. This racetrack is very fast. That fender's been up pretty bad. If that tire can hold out, I think he's going to be okay. Believe it or not, it looks like it's going to have more downforce than it had. You can see the car really still runs through the center corner. That thing's smoking pretty bad. He's going to have to come in and get that changed.
And he can see it. At this stage, with that much smoke pouring off the top, he's got to know he's got a problem.
Absolutely. I mean, he can see it, he can smell it. He knows what he did. It's a shame this early in the race to have that kind of problem.
Now, he's got to get to the halfway mark to get an opportunity to change that without losing laps under green.
Well, I'm sure that's what they're thinking. You know, they get 12 more laps to get there. You know, hopefully it'll last. You can see the smoke. Yeah, it's still pretty bad. The car really, the chassis, the suspension flexes right there. The left front wants to come down, and that's what's making it rub in that one spot of the racetrack.
Drake in the 15 coming through with the 33 of Brandon Jones trying to join him. They're working on the 29 car there at Finley.
Yeah, Finley, he's a little too tight through the middle. He's backing up. Brandon gets the spot on him. Brendan Newberry's coming up. He wants to get that spot, too, but Brennan's a little too tight through the middle right there.
And there goes the smoking Ben Rhodes off of 2, still holding on up near the front of the field.
You can see it hasn't really slowed Ben's momentum down. It's still running fine.
It has to have raised his nerves, though, for sure.
Yeah, you're sitting in there wondering if that thing's going to make it to halfway. 11 more laps he's got. It's going to be tough.
Watching the 21 as well, McKenna Bell out of Carson City, Nevada. 10 to go before the halfway break.
These guys are racing hard right here. They want to get all the spots they can before this halfway break. Use up these tires and get the 2 new right sides on.
Jesse Little's running up near the front of the field. He's in 3rd. With more on that story, here's Caitlin Vinci.
Guys, one driver to keep your eye on is Jesse Little in that 97 car. He's currently running in the 3rd position. He was actually the 2013 Sunoco Rookie of the Year last year in the K&N Pro Series East. And also the last time they raced at New Hampshire last year, he ended up finishing 6th. But guys, he's currently running 3rd.
And he's the son of a guy you spent a lot of laps battling with, Chad Little.
Yeah, I raced a lot against Chad. You know, obviously the apple doesn't fall far from the tree here. Jesse doing a great job in this series, and you know, he's got a great future in front of him.
Potentially a good day here too, as he's running up with contention to win here this afternoon. That's the Project Lifesaver number 34 that you see there. Scott Heckert right behind Finley.
Cameron Haley also there in another Turner Scott car. Cameron's been very strong all year.
Boy, Finley can't get to that halfway break soon enough. He needs to adjust that number 29. Led early, dropping now.
Seemed to settle in here. You can see the car's a little push in the middle, a little loose off. That's pretty common for Loudon. When the car wants to push up in the middle of the corner, it tends to be loose off because of the understeer.
Caution is out. 3rd of the day. Brandon Godovic in the 46. He's got a right front that is down to the ground.
So what we talked about, Ralph, tire management. Here we are, a few laps from the halfway break, and looks like he got it right front flat.
And what a huge break for Ben Rhodes. It gives him an opportunity to take some of the pressure off that wounded tire and help him ease it to the halfway break coming up.
Excellent for him. I know he's sitting in there. You're scared that thing's going to blow out and you know, you're going to end up in the wall or spun out, and you know, it's a great break for him. If nothing else, it gives him some caution laps to ride around. Cameron Haley, right front tire, right before the break. This is something we talked about you had to be careful with.
Haley, you can see that one was down as well. So while they take care of that, we'll take care of some business on our end. We'll be right back to Loudon after this. Well, the halfway break is just a few laps away here at the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East event at Loudon, New Hampshire. The Magic Mile, the site of this round. Gonna have another restart after our third caution of the day.
This is a very important restart. You know, they want to, Ben wants to get the lead, so when they come off the halfway break, he's in front, but that's what Gray's got in mind also.
Launching the flag, and here we go. And Gaulding goes back to the front in the 20 car. Rhodes just trying to hang on. He has slipped to third. It's the farthest back he's been all day today, Todd. But he's only got to hang on for 3 more laps to get a chance to change that hurt tire.
Looks like the tire rub has gotten a lot better. So all right, at this point, I'm not going to be too concerned with it. Jesse Little made a great move on that restart to get second, which is very important when they come off that halfway break.
I'll tell you what, Nick Drake is looking pretty good in that 15-2 here. Cale Conley in the 47, Eddie McDonald down below in the orange 71.
Eddie McDonald's got a lot of laps here at Loudon.
Drake thinking about another position in the 15, but Rhodes is going to take one first. He's inside a little. Boy, pretty aggressive racing here near the halfway point.
Like I said, you know, they know when they come off that halfway break that the higher up they start, the easier they can be on them tires to get to the end of the race. And I think that's what Ben has in mind. He wanted to get back in front of Jesse. Nick Drake real hard on him. Brandon Jones doing a great job. His car is this racetrack that they put their rubber down. Brandon's car has come to him, moved up a little bit, and running strong right now.
He's in the 33. As we watch the racing here, we go back downstairs to Caitlin one more time before the break.
Yeah, guys, on that restart on lap 47, that 20 car of Gray Gaulding is starting to get a very comfortable lead over the rest of the field. But he did report over the radio just a few minutes ago that he's really good on the short runs, but just a little bit tight on those long green runs. But he's still sitting comfortably in the first position, guys.
Yeah, he's done a good job up front for over 20 laps so far today. Should be seeing the halfway break coming up here.
Looks like this front pack here is kind of settled in. There's the caution waiting for this halfway break.
Everybody came across the line. The flag comes out, and we'll make our way to pit road. And Ben Rhodes can breathe a huge sigh of relief. That tire survived. He'll get a chance to get it changed, get that body work taken care of, and see what he can do here in the second half.
It's nice to have the luxury of this halfway break for Ben and his crew to be able to come in, take their time, and work on that car and get them fenders pulled off so there is no problems.
And a good opportunity for the fans to run, go get a hot dog and a cold one, get ready for the second half of racing, which should be exciting here in Loudon, New Hampshire. First half has been good. Second half promises to be even better. Don't miss it. Stay with us here on Fox Sports 1.
Bryce Harper is a baseball powerhouse.
You better believe it!
Don't miss the Nationals take on the Reds.
Well, we hope you're ready for another 50 laps here at Loudon, New Hampshire. Ralph Shaheen, Todd Bodine, and Caitlin Vincey with you. The K&N Pro East Series. Here on the Magic Mile, ready for 50 more laps as a green flag comes out to begin the second half, and already contact at the start.
Looked like right off the start, both Gray, Gaulding, and Jesse Little spun their tires and got a little sideways. Gray kept on going, but Jesse got dropped back a little bit here. Ben Rhodes back to second.
Whoa, look at the 3 wide going into 3. Woo. That gets tight down there, Todd.
Ryan Gifford trying to make the move there. Oh, 22. Austin Hill a little loose off the corner.
And Ben Rhodes with those fresh tires and everything fixed on that race car. Let's see if he can go get that 5th consecutive win now and tie the record set by Ricky Craven.
Eddie McDonald in the 71 getting a little aggressive there. You know, he knows it's time to get going here.
You have Tift in that 52 out of Ohio.
Matt Tift, yeah, he's done a great job for Kenny Schrader in that car, Federated Auto Parts car. It's trying to get some experience and get some good laps.
Heckert and Conley. Heckert up top in the 34. Conley's on the bottom in that red and white 47.
These guys are trying to take advantage of these new tires, get some positions.
Like Austin Hill in the 22. Pushing past Ryan Gifford, who comes out of Tennessee in that number 2.
Like I said, Eddie McDonald, he's got more laps here at Loudon than anyone in the field. He's raced here a long time back when the series was Busch North. He's making a good run right here.
Well, you can see the intensity is really ramped up here early on in this second 50.
It really has, Ralph. These guys, you know, they're getting loose off the corner, which means they're really trying to get to the throttle. But you got to be careful, like we talked about, tire management. These tires got to go another 35 laps, and they got to be careful.
Todd, it's late in the afternoon here too in Loudon, New Hampshire, and you can see the shadows and the bright sunshine. How does that come into play for these drivers?
Well, you know, it makes a difference. You know, off of turn 4 is where it gets difficult. For a little while, but then when the sun gets down even further, the grandstands actually block the sun, so it's not so bad. You can see right now they're looking right into the sun, and there's the shade line coming up. So it'll be bad for a little bit.
Tift working the inside of the 27 car of Kyle Benjamin. Back to the front of the field we go. Rhodes in that 41, and a scrape with Brandon Jones in the 33.
Brandon's car's really come to life here after the halfway break. They made some really good adjustments, got that thing running good, but Gray Gaulding he's pretty much checked out on the field right now.
He's the guy at the front. We'll be back for more after this. Down to the final 4th of the race, left to go here at the Granite State 100, the Magic Mile, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Good battle brewing here with the 42 car. That's Jay Beasley out of Las Vegas, Nevada. And he's going to move through to take the position away from the 34 car of Scott Heckert. Oh, and look at this. Gaulding up along the wall in the Krispy Kreme number 20.
Looks like he's got a flat right front. It's I can't believe that's a tire management issue. I think he had to run something over, Ralph. There's just no way this quick into the run that he would have got a flat from abusing the tire.
He had led 53 of the scheduled 100 laps, and now he sees his day coming to an end. Oh, what a shame. His shot at the win just vaporized. Same way you would have taken care of one of those donuts there from Krispy Kreme, Todd.
Yeah, you can see right there the tire just went down on him. That's a shame. That car was so good, and you know, I know Gray understands about tire management.
Here's Caitlin.
Guys, with 22 laps to go, we saw Gray Gaulding in that 20 machine starting to lose the pace on track. He is down pit road, and he has a flat right front tire. So the guys are working very hard to try and get that fixed so that 20 machine can get back into the race, guys.
Yeah, and I can't pick on you too bad about those donuts. You put one of those chocolate glazes in front of me, not going to last long.
Hard to refuse a Krispy Kreme. But as Caitlin said, Gray the pace was slowing down. That's a sure sign of a slow leak in the tire. Must have got a pinhole and went down on him.
Well, and we say you'd rather be lucky than good, right? I mean, look at Ben Rhodes. Had a tire that should have gone away. He got lucky. Gaulding couldn't catch the same break, and Rhodes finds himself right back at the front of the field here.
Yeah, exactly. And look who's out on the outside. Brandon Jones got that car running good. And like I said, they made some great adjustments, and we can see what he does here with Ben Rhodes on the restart.
He's got that Wolfpack Energy Services Chevy ready to go on the outside. Restarts are a key. Todd pointed that out early. Wow, look at, he's got to move up a little bit, doesn't he? Oh, he's going to try to get a run as the green comes out and we're racing again.
And it worked.
Sure did. Oh, and Rhodes is going to lose second and maybe third. Whoa! Lots of contact coming off of 2, and Jesse Little's right in the middle of it. Makes a great save. Then we go 3 wide going down into turn 3.
Austin Hill did a great job of getting around them, trying to get the spot right here.
Really impressed by the driving ability of Jesse Little to control that coming off of 2 like that, Todd.
Absolutely. That thing was 45 degrees in a racetrack. It's hard to get them back when they're that far gone. Did a great job.
Here they go again.
Austin Hill, his car's strong. He's taking advantage of this 2-wide racing in front of him. Jesse Little's trying to get by Cale Conley, but Jesse's a little too free right now.
Austin Hill in that 22, just in front of Ben Rhodes, who's got to work his way back to the front again. Oh, and a big problem over here in 3 and 4. With 15 to go, caution is out again as Brennan Newberry is up along the wall.
That's not a tire problem. Something happened there. I don't know if somebody got in the back of him, but the front end, normally a tire problem, it's the whole side of the car. He got in the front end there.
My guess is that's a contact problem.
Yeah, that's loud and that happens.
Hard to tell. Oh, yeah, Gaulding back there is back out on the racetrack. I don't know, Todd.
Yeah.
Didn't seem to be a big gap between cars there.
No, Gray was too far back to have gotten into him. Maybe Brennan, he got in the corner a little hard, got a little loose or something like that. That happens here also. It's part of what racing Loudon is about.
Well, they'll go to work on it, and you talked about restarts at the beginning of the show. Here was Ben Rhodes at the front of the field for that last restart. Things didn't go well, and now look, he's back, but 5th, 6th position, and a lot of work to do as the laps wind down.
Yeah, well, on that restart, Brandon Jones got a great jump. We saw him lay back and get a running start, and I think it kind of caught Ben off guard, and when Ben went to the throttle, he spun the tires and didn't go anywhere, and that gave Brandon the start that he needed.
And with just a handful of laps remaining, you can't afford that. You've got to get every position you can on these restarts. Here we go. One more time to the green.
Little surprise, Brandon Jones started on the outside lane here.
Drake on the bottom in the 15. He's going to go take the lead away. Oh, they're leaning on each other. Coming off a 2. 3 wide down the backstretch. Little goes for second. Rhodes is going even further back. 3 wide again. Oh, look at the paint swapping going on. Coming off of 4 as they're sideways. Beating and banging. 4 wide. Headed to turn 1. That won't work.
Something's got to give. Cale Conley on the outside.
Wow. Great racing.
Incredible.
The K&N Pro East putting on quite a show here at Loudon today. 10 laps remaining.
They know it's go time. They got to go. 10 to go to get all the spots you can.
While all that is going on behind him, Drake is opening up a good lead with Little now up to second.
Brandon Jones in third, all over Jesse, trying to get that spot from him. Still racing hard back here.
Hard to believe it hasn't come apart yet, as much as they've been leaning on each other.
There we go. Brandon Jones got a good run off the corner under Little.
And the black and silver 33 moves up to second place. Can he reel in Drake with 8 to go?
Brandon's car has been really strong since the break, and we'll have to see. It's only 8 laps. It's going to be tough to do.
34. Turns Gifford in the 2, and he's hard into the wall in turns 1 and 2. Caution is out again. We're going to have at least one more of those heart-stopping restarts the way these guys have been racing today.
Yeah, it's hard to tell whose fault that was, Ralph. That's racing at Loudon. You know, Heckard was trying to get the spot, 8 to go. It's a shame, though, to have something like that happen at the end of the race. You know, McKenna Bell also in the wreck somehow.
She's brought the 21 to a stop. Let's look at it again.
Yeah, I'd have to give that one to Heckard. He drove it in there. I don't know what he thought he was going to do, but he drove it in a little too deep.
Well, the intensity of the final laps, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like I said, it's a go time. They know they got to get up there and get some spots. That was just, that's not hard racing, but those things do happen.
Fortunately, Ryan Gifford was able to get out of the car. The cars have stopped on the racetrack. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back for what should be a wild finish. Go. 6 laps remaining in the Granite State 100 at Loudon, New Hampshire. It has been a wild race so far, and with 6 to go, I don't see any reason why this finish shouldn't just be outstanding.
Once again, here we come to the restarts. You know, so important. You know, it's if Brandon Jones can stay with him through 1 and 2, I think he's got a shot to get him on the outside, but you got to be able to stay with him.
Mooresville, North Carolina's Nick Drake in the 15, the Napa car on the pole slot as the green waves. Good restart for him.
Jesse Little doing a great job around the bottom. You know, when you're side by side that tight on a guy, it's really easy to get loose. Brandon held on, got a good run off the corner.
Those two fighting over second with McDonald right there with them in the 71, and that's allowing Drake to pull away a little bit. 5 laps remaining.
Jesse Little got really loose off of turn 4. Let Eddie McDonald get up on his bumper, see if he can give him a run for the money. Nick Drake, they're all sideways. Look at that coming off of turn 2. They're all racing hard here for the last 4 laps.
Yeah, you can see Little hanging it out a little bit. Cale Conley, look at the day he's had. Started 30th, running in 5th now. A top 5 would be outstanding run today.
If you can go from 30th to 5th at Loudon, you've done something for sure.
3 to go, and Ben Rhodes being assessed a drive-through penalty by NASCAR. NASCAR officials saying he passed to the left before the start-finish line on that last restart, and his shot of winning 5 straight and tying Ricky Craven goes out the window.
That's a shame. He had a great run going. If he wasn't going to get the win, he was going to get a top 5 for sure.
Look at the ground. Brandon Jones is making up in the 33. They're going to have 2 laps to go, and he is closing on Nick Drake.
I didn't think he could close that gap, but he's done it. He's there. It's a matter of Nick can hang on without making a mistake, getting loose. His car's been loose since there it is a little sideways. He's really free right now.
Oh, this is going to be good. Drake and Jones battling for the win here at Loudon. Jones closing in a little bit more, but Drake with a good run through the center of 3 and 4.
Brandon got up behind him, got a little push through the middle, 1 lap to go. See, he's got 2 more shots at it.
White flag is out, 1 more lap, and the Granite State 100. You know it's going to come down in 3 and 4. You're just going to have to take it deep in there and see if you can come out the other side with the win. Here they go. Oh, here he goes, deep into 3. Contact. And they're both going around and up to the wall. Jesse Little comes through. Off of turn 4. Jesse Little's going to win the Granite State 100. Oh, you could just see that one coming.
You called it coming off of 2, Ralph. That's what Brandon tried to do. As deep as he drove it in that corner, there was no way that thing was going to stick. And he was trying to use the 15 as a cushion, and they didn't make it.
Well, that's what you see here at Loudon, right? You see that pass going into turn 3. Guys tend to go deep down there. And, boy, he just went a little too deep. He gave it everything, though. Here it is.
Well, in dirt racing, they call this the slide job, but normally you start a little closer to the guy in front of you and you get in front of him. And Brandon wasn't even close.
Drake was good through the center of 3 and 4, and you could see his car started to inch forward again, and that was it. The 33 just stalls out right in here, and Drake is going again, and that's where he just slides up into him.
But I will say one thing. I'm not going to totally put this one on Brandon Jones. Nick Drake didn't give him any room. He actually ran right around the bottom and forced Brandon down on the apron, and it's not going to stick down there. I think if Nick would have given him a little room, it might have worked.
Well, what they're going to do is give this guy a big trophy for winning here at Loudon. We'll present it to him when we come back on Fox Sports 1.
Wins the Royals header Saturday.
Back here to Loudon after a wild finish, and after the dust settled and the smoke cleared, it was Jesse Little in victory lane, and that's where Caitlin Vincey is.
Jesse is climbing out of this winning 97 machine. What an incredible race. Jesse, you are a winner here at New Hampshire on your mom's birthday. What an awesome present.
Oh, it is so special, and I mean, I never in a million years would have thought this, but you know, we did it and we stuck to it, and my team is amazing, and I can't thank the man upstairs above for giving me the blessings and opportunities. I'm about to cry, which, you know, it doesn't happen often, but I'm so thankful for my sponsors and my family and my crew. Guys, and this is amazing. This is amazing.
Jesse, that was a very dramatic race, particularly in those closing laps. Walk us through it.
I was struggling on my end. I was making quite a few mistakes, and I kind of had a replay back to Phoenix last fall when I was running third, and that happened, and I was too far away. But I mean, it's special, and you know, there's only one guy that was controlling that, and that was the man upstairs. But I'm just so I'm on cloud nine. I really am.
Well, congratulations, Jesse Little is a winner here at New Hampshire. Guys.
Todd, as we look at the results, you said that Drake should have given a little bit of room there. Now, some of the fans might be wondering why you're saying that. What's your take?
Well, you know, as the leader that you're controlling the position of your car on the track, and Brandon had to run. He dove inside. I'm sure the spotter told him he's there, and he decided he was going to keep him to the bottom, where Jones wasn't getting back to the throttle to beat him to the start-finish line, so he could have slid up a groove. You know, Drake was already back to the throttle. He would have beat him to the start-finish line. That's a decision he has to make.
Well, second place goes to Eddie McDonald, who's now with Caitlin.
Thanks, guys. Well, I'm standing by with the second place finisher, Eddie. You've had a lot of starts here at New Hampshire. You've had 3 wins here, but have you ever seen a race finish under such wild circumstances?
That whole race was pretty wild. Those guys were pretty crazy out there today, especially the last 25 laps. They were just pushing each other around, and I was hoping just not to get my car. And to come out here with a second place finish is great for our team. Would have loved to have been able to get